Welcome to part 27, VOD watchers. I appreciate your support immensely. I know last episode was pretty wild. I have no idea where we're going today, but I am looking forward to seeing what's up with the gang. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the follow button. I'm live at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time every day of the week except for Mondays. Come hang out with us and check out the new merch store, www.drmickmerch.com. Helps the stream immensely, and thank you for your support in the form of memberships and tips. Let's see what we got. Oh God, I have no idea, Pie. No idea. What's up, Uncle?
Good to see you again, Uncle. So, Molly ain't around?
No, not for a while now. You boys sure returned with a bang.
And we always seem to these days.
The Pinkertons absolutely know where we are also. So, I am inclined to go to Saint Denis, check our mail, and then is that Sadie? I want to go talk to Sadie. I don't really care what Dutch has to say right now. I want to go see what Sadie has to say. So that's what we're going to go do. We'll deal with Dutch later. Sinead, where are you, girl? Hey! I know I was gone for a while, but I'm back. I'm back, girl. We're gonna go check our mail first, though. Is it just me, or does Arthur sound like he's done with all this, especially with... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Arthur... The hell? Sir? Oh my God. Sir, I can't be having people... Oh my God. What the hell happened to this man? Gonna ruin my jacket. Or wait till this man sinks down, or till maybe we get, perhaps we get a sighting from the Lord. From the Lord himself. Will he doth grace us with his presence. Does not appear that that will be the case. Well, regardless, I don't need folks thinking I did that, so. Poor fella. Wonder what happened to him. This wasn't great. No alligator Jesus this evening. Apparently we're not in the right spot.
Let's go, girl.
How do you do?
Howdy, sir.
Second thoughts. Never mind.
I think we have made a misunderstanding. No harm's done. Will you move?
Yeah, see you later then. I don't know. That's true. I didn't give a speech. That is part of it. Howdy, sir.
Hi there, mister.
That's a lot of fine furs. I reckon I could get myself a fine pouch with all those furs, but I ain't gonna worry much about it.
Yep.
All right, we got a rainy day. There's a lot of pelts to grab, man. All right, now I got to imagine that my ass rolling in here. At least I'm bearded, but I really probably should have changed my clothes before I came in here, at least. Because I sure looked the way I did when we left, and I can't imagine these folks are going to be too thrilled to have me around. Excuse me, excuse me. We're in a copless town now.
Another one of my kids is coughing again.
What are you doing?
Sir, hurry your ass up, please. Thank you.
Look out!
Y'all think I got a bounty? I did have a suit on. I guess that's a good point. I did have a suit on, but I don't know. I got a pretty recognizable face, I reckon. Are you kidding me? That's the strongest cart in the world, right there. Strongest cart. Whoever makes this cart, I'm gonna buy me one of those because I know that it'll last me forever. Jesus, come on now.
Welcome.
How much is my bounty, sir?
Happy to help you start over.
Nothing. All right, that works for me. Give me my mail. Second invitation from Mayor Lemieux. 8 days ago. Well, alrighty, Mayor. I'll take a gander at that. Monsieur Kilgore, I could not have wished for better fruits from our unconventional partnership. The works hanging in our gallery are quite rightly authenticated, and that grubby little man from New Haven has acquired some humility. Excellent. I do hope you might be willing to work with me again. Many men of more secure positions than yours would do desperate things to be in good graces of the mayor, and, to use an Americanism, I feel I still have some chips to cash. I trust you understand my meaning. As before, come to the back of the mayoral residence one night, and Jean-Marc will let you in. Thank you again, your friend Henry Lemieux. Alright. Alright.
Pardon me.
It is. It's the Nokia of carts. Yes, it is. I'm gonna buy me some stock in those carts, I reckon. Alright, Sadie, what do you got for me? Sadie's the real American badass here.
Are you slow?
Are you slow? Hell no. Faster than the wind. Alright, come on.
All right,
Arthur? You sick? Did you get COVID on Guarma? Oh my god! Sir! Get me to a doctor. What is going on?
Mister, are you okay?
No!
Mister, are you okay?
No.
Are you okay, mister?
Sir, I don't know how many times I cannot respond to you to make you
Mister.
realize I am not okay.
You don't look so good. Let's get you to a doctor. Come on, it's not far. Just down the street here.
Sure thing, mister. I'll just meander myself over. Oh my god.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll be
Holy
fine.
shit.
I'm fine.
Now you head in there, friend. Go on. Keep going, friend.
Oh, this guy. Oh, God. Hope you didn't saw somebody's arm off before I got here. How did I miss?
I need a doctor.
Oh, just 1 second, sir.
Pearson's cooking ain't doing it for me.
Come in, pal. Come in.
Somebody, like, carry me. Like, sling me over your shoulder or something. Jesus. I can barely walk my ass over here. Oh, God. All right. At least you didn't amputate. Oh, God.
I need some help.
And so it seems. And that's Dr. Mister to you.
If his last name is Mister, I'm going to lose my shit.
I'm sorry.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Look, friend, I don't mean nothing, but you got money? I mean, before I start
Jesus.
treating you, because I got a family.
Yeah, I understand. Here, that did.
Sure.
Wow.
Thank you. Now, what's
America,
wrong?
baby.
I mean, what appear to be the symptoms?
Well, I think you've heard them. I'm coughing.
Is there any blood?
Sometimes.
Okay, now here. Breathe. Again.
Jeez.
Let me see your tongue. Now say ah.
What is it?
It's not good news.
I guess that.
You got tuberculosis. Really sorry for you, son. It's a hell of a thing.
Isn't that terminal?
You're real sick. It's a progressive disease, and you'll be... Now, the best thing is rest, and getting somewhere warm and dry, and taking it easy. Now, is that possible?
Sure, I can just take my winters in my country club in California. No, it's not possible.
Well,
This motherfucker lights up a pipe after he just diagnosed me with tuberculosis? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't think there is anything more infuriating to me in this entire goddamn game than this motherfucker doing that. What? Are you, what? Jesus. God. I just paid this guy money to give me terrible news, and he lights up a pipe in front of my ass. What a dick. Also, yeah, I mean, I guess tuberculosis at this time would be a death sentence. We don't have the stuff we need here, so.
like I said, I'm real sorry.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, wait. Let me get you a little bit more energy today.
Oh my God. Holy shit. I mean, this is a real blow here. Like a real blow. When this happens for folks, there's usually like a real crash of reality that happens here. You are confronted with your own mortality. You ask a million what-if questions about what does this mean for yourself? What does this mean for your family? What does this mean for the things that you always wanted to do? What does this mean now for the things that you're no longer able to do? You want to talk about a real scrambling and potentially a trauma. I have just been told that I have a disease that is going to kill me. And I probably don't even get to be close to people because maybe they catch it. And it is devastating, especially in this initial burst here. Like, the way that you make sense of this in the moment makes a big difference. And most of us don't have any way of preparing for a moment of like this. We think we know what we would do, but we do not know what we would do. Sometimes people will deny it. They will have a hard time believing it because believing it answers a lot of those what if questions in a very devastating way. Some people will just kind of move to radical acceptance and say, okay, it is what it is. I'm just going to do whatever I got to do. There's no right or wrong way to process this information. But my God, if it's not a moment that people never forget. And now here we are with Arthur in that moment. You know, does he think about, you know, really I think the thing that I would point to in this moment as we stand here in the street with tuberculosis, probably high on cocaine, is up until really this moment, we have been slowly detaching ourselves from the Vanderlyn gang. We have been finding our own autonomy. We have been questioning Dutch. Now that we're dying, there ain't much opportunity for us to meet new people and to have new friends unless we want to go sail to Tahiti and find Charles. Now, all of a sudden, those relationships that we've been questioning very complexly come back into our life because do we want to die alone? Or do we want to die with people that, even if we don't agree with the direction they're taking, at least we know who they are and we know they care about us and they've been meaningful to us up until this point? You want to talk about some real extreme dissonance? This is about the craziest wrench that could have been thrown at us here. Because now we're going to desperately want some kind of closeness. We're going to want to be around some folks. We're going to want to disclose this. We're going to want to be taken care of. And the people that are available to take care of us are people that we really just aren't aligned with right now. And so many people experience this. Oh, Arthur, man.
We can't change what's done. We can only move on.
I do wonder if... So now what happens...
You have it in you, I can tell.
What happens here is people are left to make meaning of this. People want to understand why things have happened to them this way. They want it to make sense. People don't like random stuff. Don't like the idea that we have randomly contracted tuberculosis. So Arthur is going to be left to make some meaning out of this situation. If I had to take a guess, my guess would be that Arthur is likely to view this as a natural punishment for all the bad that he's done. Perhaps I deserve this because I've hurt lots of folks. Sometimes that helps people. Like, you know what? I can make my peace with this because I made it this long. I hurt lots of folks. Here it is catching up with me. Maybe he blames somebody. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Dutch. Deferring of blame is another way that people try to move through the grief process with something that's happening to them. We try to assign blame because we try to make meaning. We want to know the linear direction that things happened and why they happened. Quite frankly, sometimes learning why it happened doesn't actually matter. And I think something that's important for all of us to consider is that you get to choose what meaning you make out of this, what you attend to, where you go, what you do. Sort of like what Arthur just said. You can't change what happened, but you can change how you move forward. Which means that you do have it in you to make a more empowering narrative, one that, you know, maintains some level of dignity and integrity and is kind to yourself, because this is something that would be very hard for a person to go through.
He didn't have a choice. He was good and he did good.
you don't want to help me, but I think of you often.
Yep, he's going through the exact process I just described right now. Thinking about key moments in his life. He's thinking about key relationships. He's asking himself the what ifs. Right? He's been confronted with his mortality.
If we don't stop soon, we'll all be dying.
So we've had Hosea, we've had Brother Dorkins, we've had Mary, we've had Arthur's own voice. Right? We're hearing the voices that have had a significant impact on him.
Well, she was a fool then, Arthur.
I sometimes wonder if things was ever the way we remembered them. If we were ever who we thought we was.
You are sick. While sick, you will only gain the benefit from consuming a limited amount of food and drink. Damn. Chat, I would like to use this as a reminder. Also, those of you that are watching the VODs with comments, please do not spoil the game. I see mods removing comments, and I'm only guessing it's because of spoilers. Please do not give me any information that I have not gathered. Do not backseat. Do not tell me anything that I do not already know. It is not helpful. It is more annoying than it is anything else. If you're not sure whether it's appropriate to post, please do not post it. If you are watching the VODs, please do not backseat or leave spoilery information in the comments. It will be removed. All it does is frustrate me and piss me off. It does not help the playthrough. Mods will ban if it continues to happen. I don't know what people are saying because I haven't really been reading chat through this part, but I see a lot of like chat removed. Please, please, please do not spoil. It does not help. All right, let's eat some kidney beans. And let's go find... Oh, Jesus, let's go find Sadie now, I guess. What do you think that deer's about? Well, it could be anything. I'm inclined to say that it means whatever Arthur wants it to mean. It could be... Yeah, it could really be anything. I think symbolism is, you know, for all of us to create on our own.
What's new?
I think maybe that's the point, right? It's for us to make our own meaning out of it.
Hello.
How are you?
Boy, what a tricky situation to be in, too, because, like, I don't know... Okay, so this is a legitimate question for chat. You can answer this, chat. Is tuberculosis communicable? Like, is it spreadable by air? Am I contagious? I don't actually know the answer to that. So, if anybody knows the answer to that, I would be curious to what it is. It is? Okay. Your blood. By coughing and blood. Jeez. Okay.
Oh, hello.
So
there.
obviously we caught tuberculosis through... Did I Don't answer this. Don't answer this. Now I gotta think of everybody bloody I ever touched. I just picked a bloody guy up and threw him in the river. But it feels like it was bigger of a plot thing than that. Oh, God. I'd be asking myself constantly, where did it come from? Whose blood did I touch? Holy shit, man.
You should back off while you still can.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Similar spread as cheese. Terrifying. Okay.
Think I done drank myself sleep.
Any problems coming in?
Nah.
Guess they know now we ain't in the city.
Who, Mr. Milton's friends?
God, I look like
They've had
death.
patrols out ever since you boys disappeared. Well, at least you're alive.
For now, yeah.
What happened in,
Guama?
yeah,
Nothing nice.
what happened to Dutch? Because he seems...
I don't know. Seems as what began happening in Blackwater began happening years ago, maybe. Slow decline, I guess.
What do you mean?
I ain't quite sure. What happened here?
I started gathering people up as best I could after you boys left. And John, you know that part.
I do.
And Hosea?
So that too.
Hell, we got Lenny's body out as well. Bribed the morgue and buried them together.
Jeez.
Follow me.
All right, so Arthur's even acknowledging that Dutch has gone off his rocker to Sadie. Which, by the way, that's a big deal.
Easy, girl. You're okay. So, what's your plan here?
Well, I figure before we do anything, we need to make sure John's even still at this prison.
And how do we do that?
We need to get up high enough to get a proper look at the place.
What? It's on an island, ain't it? Unless you're planning on learning how to fly.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. I found us a hot air balloon.
You ain't serious.
Now, the pilot, or whatever you call him, he thinks we're just in it for a lesson. Bit of a tour. He's quite the character. I think you'll like him.
You know, I'm impressed. You really stepped things up, ain't you?
Hey, we didn't know if you was even coming back. Whole thing hit folks real hard. You can see it. Karen's gone falling fully into the bottle. Strauss is a bag of nerves. Swanson's actually gone and cleaned up his act. So I guess it ain't all gone to shit.
Oh my God, it's almost as if everybody kind of got better when Dutch left. It's almost like people reached their potential. It's almost like people realize that they can live their life and they actually have some autonomy and they don't have to rely on a leader in order to get things done. It's almost like piss poor leadership actually enables people to think that they aren't capable of things that they're actually capable of. Can you believe that, chat? We see this shit happen all the time. That's also generally how you can know who's a poor influence in your life. Who do you do better? Or like when do you do better? Who's not around when you do better? Can you link the absence of certain people in your life to your health? Because if you can, those people are a bad influence. Right? Sure. Now Karen's not doing well. And that's okay. I understand that some folks are not going to do well because they had different ties to the group and such, and they were worried about certain people leaving. Right? But it's important to look at how people change when leadership is removed or when certain people are removed. It tells us that Karen is significantly impacted maybe by us, by the guys, by that group, right? But the Reverend all of a sudden cleaning himself up, Strauss doing okay. Not a coincidence.
I'm just happy you boys were able to find us. Javier said he got the letter I left at the post office.
That was a good idea.
Until the Pinkertons showed up. Oh, by the way, I've been hunting O'Driscoll boys. Killed 2 of the sons of bitches at a campsite last week.
What?
Yeah, seems they've drifted down this way now. She a beauty, ain't she?
From here on the ground, yes.
Mr. Bullard? Mr. Bullard.
Ah, Mrs. Adler! It's good to see you. Good to see you.
This is my friend I told you about.
I like
Mr.
this
Bullard.
guy.
Ah, yes, Arturo Bullet. At your service, sir. At your service.
Arthur Morgan.
Well, it's a nice, fresh day for flying, sir. A day like today, an Icarus would have made it across the sea. Have you ever flown before, sir?
No.
Oh, it's quite a thing. Quite a thing. Now, put these on and hop in.
Well, ain't she coming?
Well, women can't fly, sir. Are you insane?
They can't.
Oh, no, sir. It does terrible damage to them, to their vapors. I thought everyone knew about that. Why, a delicate flower like Mrs. Adler? Heavens above or below.
Where'd you find this guy?
I told you two would get on.
Are you sure about this?
Certain, sir. Quite certain. Mrs., let us away. Wish us luck. I've only crashed twice. Now, pull on that rope and hope for the best.
I've only crashed twice, says the man who apparently is the only thing allowed.
How did you get out of this?
She don't even want to be in on this.
Here goes nothing.
Sadie knows what she's doing. She's not an idiot.
Time to
Oh my
catch
God.
a few vapors of our own. It's a little overcast, but I'm expecting some good wind once we're high enough. We should still have some decent views over the river.
Oh my lord.
Hates to be coarse, but on the subject of ablutions, liquids over the side, solids, do your utmost to levy the situation until we land.
Okay, Mr. Bullard.
I had a client once who fell foul to a rotten oyster on the ascent. A decidedly harrowing experience for all involved. Keep going, sir. We need to get up above the clouds.
Wow, we're going way up.
Up there, you'll have seen nothing like it.
Holy shit.
Keep on going. You're doing splendidly.
I want to fly around like this all the time.
Right through these clouds.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yes, heavenly indeed. Quite remarkable, isn't it? Feels like we have a nice westerly wind, so keep her around this height. This particular vessel is state-of-the-art, sir. Imported from Europe. Won't find more than a couple of these on this side of the pond.
So long as it works.
Oh, you're absolutely correct, Lehman. There would be no convincing this man that women can't fly.
No, not at all. A child could operate this with a little supervision. Besides, Mrs. Adler told me you were very keen to learn the ropes. We have...
A child could operate this, but not a woman. You hear that? I understand that during this time period, women were absolutely represented to be less than men and to be dumber. But this, dumber than a child? Like, listen to that language, man. That's brutal. Now, I get it. Sadie's probably thrilled that she's not doing this. And she very clearly knew what the hell she was doing. That's some real strong language, man. A child could operate this. Oh, it is so easy. A child could do this, but not a girl. You know, this is, again, it's a product of representation. This is why women had to fight so damn hard. Why women still have to fight so damn hard. Because there's remnants of this ideology that still happens to this day. We see it mostly in sports, right? Oh, you kick like a girl. That kind of stuff. That language perpetuates a notion that women are less than men. This is the more overt version of that, but we still hear shit like that to this day. So it's the task of people, women fighting, which is great that they do. But again, Arthur could look at this guy and go, you really ought to consider the fact that if a child can do this, a woman can too. In fact, Sadie, that lady that was down there, she kicked some serious ass, and you don't want to mess with her. That kind of thing goes a long way.
She did she?
This is so cool.
Arthur and Arturo. How perfect is this? My mother was a keen student of the Italianate. My brother's called Baldessario, so you could say I got off lightly.
Look, I'm trying to concentrate here.
Not in a one-shot deal, Ellie. Him saying it one time wouldn't make a big difference, but more men saying this more consistently is what makes the difference. See, this is an argument that a lot of people get into, which is that, well, come on, me saying something here is not going to matter. Probably not. But Arthur saying something to him, and then other men saying something to him, and then also hearing women say it, and seeing these messages consistently over and over and over again that women are just as capable as men, in some cases more capable, that matters. So if people choose not to say things because they don't think their one shot matters, then it prevents many people from saying things. So you do your part in this moment. This is why if a person who uses they, them pronouns isn't in the room, and somebody you're with that's a mutual coworker or something doesn't use they, them pronouns, you correct them even when that person's not in the room. Right? If a person goes by a different name, you correct them even when they're not in the room. You do these things because the more and more people do that, the more and more people realize, oh shit, I've got to do that. I actually have to consider this. A lot of people I trust are saying things like this, so I ought to listen to it. That kind of thing. So it's very important for us to consider ourselves as being part of a group doing this, not just people that exist in isolation doing these things.
In the city this morning, Mr. Morgan?
Not exactly.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing, Chico. I hate that language. We shouldn't use it.
I think I'm all right, thank you. Recalling the ablutions discussion.
Well, just say the word.
Also good to see you, Chico. Dr. Mick, how come you moved to YouTube? Lots of reasons. TLDR, better platform for the stream, and I don't respect what Twitch has been doing lately.
In the pursuit of aviation.
I didn't, exactly. Mrs. Adler thought she'd surprise me.
Ah, a very nice woman. And no shrinking violet.
Definitely not.
I prefer slightly more feminine attire on a lady, but variety is the very spice of life, as they say. Or is it, though? Did you know they locked up the man who wrote that in a mental asylum?
I did not, Mr. Bullard.
See that building up ahead on the island? That's the infamous Sisika Penitentiary. We shouldn't fly too near to it, though, sir.
Sorry, we're going in for a closer look.
What do you mean?
Oh, man.
This is most irregular.
Well, you want a happy customer, don't you?
Look, this isn't funny now. What on earth are you doing? The guards are bound to spot us.
Calm down. They won't care if we stay high enough. I'm just looking for a friend of mine.
A friend?
Poor bastard has a habit of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I heard they got him working the fields in a chain gang.
Dear God.
Yeah, I kind of hate that this guy's a bystander here. Commander, I have no idea because I've never played the game before, so I don't know what it would take to finish the chapter, but good to see you, friend. Thanks for hanging out. Oh my God, really?
The wind. Well, this is most unusual.
Relax, Mr. Bullard. Here, take over. Keep us well away.
I'll do my best. This filly isn't the easiest to control, you know.
Thought a child could do it.
We, think about heading back. Maybe try looking lower down. Is that some people just down from where you're looking? I can't believe we're doing this.
That's not him. That ain't John.
There he is.
Looks like him. It's hard to tell, though. Yep, that's him.
Ah! My God!
Oh God, we're getting shot at? Jesus!
Ascend! Ascend!
Oh God, go! Jesus Christ! Go! Get up!
Oh my!
We're out!
The wind speed is picking up. We should stay at this altitude. It's heading northwesterly, so that should take us back to land. Yeah, God, I'm shaking like a leaf.
Gotta love getting away from a gunfight in a hot air balloon.
Mr. Bullard, get up.
Good Lord, my heart is pounding. I must say, the specifics of this job were not described to me at all as sufficiently.
Well, it's done now.
They should have just shot the balloon. Idiots. Shoot the biggest target. And down we come.
There's Annesburg.
Sure.
Good Lord, is that Mrs. Adler?
Where?
Being chased.
Oh shit.
Yes. Try and get us near.
Will there be more trouble, sir?
I expect so.
I'm starting to rather enjoy it.
Oh boy, we're shooting from a...
Hey, Shane! Up there!
There's no way she can hear him. Oh, what a shot.
Mrs. Adler has a lot to answer for.
Yes, she does.
I hate this gun.
Show him, Mr. Morgan.
Woo!
Oh, shit. Messing with the old...
I gotta tell you, I really was not imagining that I would be shooting people from a hot air balloon tonight. That would not have been on my bet slip. Really? Okay, whatever. Lucky shot.
I'm starting to rather enjoy this.
I don't even have a way to take cover. That's kind of crazy that I don't have plot armor there.
Hey, Shane! Up there! Shit, they're O'Driscoll's.
Mrs. Adler has a lot to answer for.
Yes, she does.
I think I might need to adjust my...
With the O'Driscolls right now.
That's it. You showed them, Mr. Morgan.
Woo!
Just ride, I'll deal with them.
Damn, Sadie. Oh no! Oh man, that poor guy. He didn't deserve any of this shit.
Grab the rope, come on.
Really? Are you? This is insane.
There's a bridge up ahead!
Okay, I'll come down and get you on the other side.
This is the most ridiculous sequence of events in a video game I've ever played in my life.
I can't reach it!
Come on, Sadie! Come on, Sadie! Get on the hot air balloon!
Alright, hold it there, Arthur! Got it!
Yeah!
Let's get out of
Man, these guys are stormtroopers not being able to hit her.
I can't hold on much longer!
Absolute stormtroopers.
Arthur, hurry!
I'm going, Sadie. Pull the chain, Arthur.
I think we're gonna crash.
You have a real habit of stating the obvious, Arthur.
Hold on.
That was pretty smooth.
Did you break your neck?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Damn it, look! There's more of them on the other side. They must have followed us.
Of course they did. We were in a hot air balloon.
These goddamn O'Driscolls!
You can't leave it for one day.
Just kill these sons of bitches! Watch yourself there! You boys are goddamn jokes! Look out! More coming in behind us! Send every last son of a bitch you got! God damn it! We got more coming out of the woods there! You can tell them all who's next! You ain't goddamn man! Another gunfight! Here we go! I'm gonna pass for what you did! Come on! Come on! Let's move up and finish these bastards! Look at those cowards! Yeah, you run! I'll catch up with you soon enough! Looks like we made it. That'll show them.
Hell, wrong with you. I only left you an hour ago. You can't stay out of trouble for one goddamn hour. You got that poor bastard killed for his troubles. I kinda liked him.
They got Combe, the government. They got Combe O'Driscoll. They're gonna hang him in Saint Denis.
Hanging. Okay.
He's already been tried twice for murder and found guilty.
Sure, no doubt he'll escape again.
No, he won't, because we're gonna make sure of it.
We have our own problems with the law in case you ain't noticed.
Dutch will want to see him swing.
Sure, Dutch, he wouldn't even help us with Marston. And our situation is really messed up right now. You know how things is.
Bastard's gonna swing. I'm gonna make sure of it.
Closely followed by Marston.
You saw him?
Yes, in the fields.
Okay. Then we go rescue him.
From a state penitentiary?
No. But from the fields? Yes. That we can manage.
It's well guarded.
Guarded, sure, but not behind bars.
No, it's not behind bars.
So, that's how we'll do it. Bust him from his work detail.
I guess.
It's best just the two of us go.
2 of us is all there is, anyhow.
Good, because 2 is all we'll need. I'll get us a boat, a little one, and we'll sneak in and get him out of there. Meet me at Copperhead Landing. Thank you, Arthur.
Whatever you say, boss.
I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, there's Sadie wanting Colm O'Driscoll dead makes sense. The O'Driscolls kill her husband. I get it. So, you know, she connects with Dutch in that way. But there is a dual dynamic going on here, like what Arthur described, right? Which is we have John and we have Colm. Is Colm's death more important than the life of a person who is part of our group? This is pretty precarious because something tells me that there was a very unspoken dialogue that happened between Sadie and Arthur there, which was, Dutch ain't gonna like this, so just the 2 of us have to go, because only the 2 of us realize that he is unraveled. He ain't gonna like us getting John back, and the only way we're gonna win the favor of the group is if we bring John back without Dutch's resistance to it. Because last time we saw Dutch talk about John, Abigail asked him to get it back, and Dutch was like, "No, I need time to think." So this is open defiance in some ways of Dutch going to get this, because Dutch obviously is skeptical of John in some way, shape, or form. So that whole conversation was basically a subtle acknowledgement between 2 very strong leaders that are subordinate, so to speak, to Dutch, saying, we're going to go insubordinate here to save a member of our family at the behest of seeing Colm O'Driscoll die. And that's a big move. A big move that I'm not sure he's going to like. Pretty powerful stuff, though. And I've never seen that movie, Mona. Sadie's got very concrete plans. They're simple. I mean, I guess, right? Get the hot air balloon is pretty solid, but they're pretty tangible, right? We're going to go get John back. I'm going to go get a boat. We'll figure this out. But they don't trust the group. We're seeing a lack of trust in the group, and that lack of trust is understandable. Especially from Arthur, right? He's very clearly indicated that Dutch has lost his marbles and he doesn't trust him. Right now, what we know, again, chat, you got to work with known quantities. Right now, what Arthur knows is that Sadie understands that Dutch is messed up and he trusts Sadie. I don't know that we can trust the other guys to be in that space as much as I'd like to, right? Charles has pretty strong integrity. Maybe Charles sees us go get John, and then he's like, okay, cool, I see you. But we don't know how anybody else is going to respond, but we know that Sadie is on with us. It's going to be really interesting, man. I just don't see how... I think we go get John Marston, and that sends a very clear message that we're no longer unconditionally loyal to Dutch. By the way, I see a bit of conversation here about, whether Arthur would disclose the fact that he has tuberculosis. And I think, it's hard to know why specifically he wouldn't tell Sadie that. My hypothesis would be that the reason that Arthur's not saying it is because if Arthur acknowledges that he has tuberculosis to Sadie, it means that he has to acknowledge it to himself. And my guess is that that may be a hard thing for Arthur to do right now. Like, a lot of times that's why folks won't talk about things, because if you start talking about stuff, it makes it real to you. If you're not prepared to deal with it, then you're certainly not going to expect others to be prepared to deal with it. I think Arthur knows he's in trouble. I also think, though, that, coming to terms with your mortality in the form of something like this tends to put a lot of things into perspective. Perhaps makes Arthur more confident in his own convictions rather than in Dutch. Like, wait a minute. If I don't got much time left, am I really going to keep wasting my time with this shit? Just unfortunate, man. I can't imagine it's the first time that Arthur's heard about TV. We got a journal entry, though. I definitely want to read that. All right, let's see. Went to teach Angelo Bronte a lesson. Taught him something, I guess. Taught him alligators have to have a nasty way about them. Dutch is torn between his dreams of escape and his need to prove something or other. Don't quite know what. Not sure he does. Wants us to make one last big haul of cash, then flee for Tahiti. Retire and become farmers. Where the hell is Tahiti? I guess they don't have Pinkertons there, at least. All them years we dreamed of being ranchers out in virgin lands in the West. Now it's bananas and coconuts and long boat rides. Guess anywhere the train can get to, the law can get to. Dutch probably has it right. This country really don't want folk like us no more. From ocean to ocean, places going to law-abiding and decent and dulled and rigid until folks have frozen themselves into nothingness. People in this city are worse and more desperate than the nastiest gunslinger I ever met. They'd shoot you in the back and make you pay for your own funeral. They throw shit on you for sport. Walk past the lost and starving like they can't see 'em. Keep feeling sick, but I'm sure it's nothing. This damn swamp ain't natural. Oh shit, so he's been feeling crappy for a while. Hosea and Lenny. My lord, what a goddamn mess. Everything. The bank job we planned so hard was a goddamn setup. Hosea got himself killed. Lenny got shot in the head. Marston got himself arrested and is awaiting trial. We fled, left on a ship, sailed into a storm. The ship sank. Whole thing like a dream, like a fool's nightmare. I survived that. Being lost at sea and got washed ashore on an island called Guarma. Whatever Tahiti's like, I hope it ain't nothing like Guarma. Nasty bastard named Fusar had the people by the throat. We ended up in a fight with a goddamn army. Javier nearly died. I nearly got killed. Met some real decent folk. Brave folk for living in a land of hell. Got a boat out there just about, after some real nasty fighting. Don't think I met many folk deserve killing more than that piece of shit Fusar. Upon returning, found the folk again. At least them ain't dead. But within a few hours, the Pinkertons had found all of us. Old Agent Milton wants us all dead, and yet somehow we survived and are now planning another escape. Not sure what happens next. Whole thing's been hard on all of us, most of all on Dutch, who seems half crazed by all we've gone through. Turns out I'm not very well. Got tuberculosis. Doctor did not know how long I would last. All them bullets shot at me, all them horses threw me, all them fights, and it was beating up that pathetic little fella Downs that killed me, I reckon. No shit. He's the only man I've been near that was real sick. He begged for mercy, and I beat the bastard, and he died, and now I'm dying too. The way of the world, my mind is racing, of course. That monk and that nun, Downs' widow, Abigail, Mary. No shit. Dutch, when I first knew him, Hosea, my dead pa, the no good bastard, the whole crowd of people. Oh, wait, that was a... Okay, I gotta read that sentence again. My mind's racing, of course. That monk and the nun, Downs' widow, Abigail, Mary. Dutch, when I first knew him. Hosea, my dead pa, no good bastard. A whole crowd of people. What kind of man have I been? What kind of man am I? What world is this we live in? A land of fury or a place of love? Am I being prepared for eternal damnation? Am I past any kind of saving? Is that all fairy tales? Man ain't got much good in him. Ain't got no good in me. I don't think, and yet I see goodness. I see it. Not in me, in good folk, in Abigail and her love for Jack, that silly monk, Downs, I guess, begging, not for himself, but for the poor, even though he was near starving himself. Maybe I don't want salvation. Part of me has always longed for death. Well, here it comes, I suppose. Wow. Yeah, do we feel any better now that we know where it came from? Nope. Oh boy. Oy vey. Alright, Dutch. What the hell you got for me, brother? Although I am, well... Dutch needs to speak to you. Okay. That pisses me the hell off. That the one task that Arthur didn't want to do, loan sharking, is the thing that's coming back to get him. That sucks. It doesn't make it any better no matter what, right? Like, he got tuberculosis, but he got it doing something that he didn't really want to do. The amount of regret that might come along with that would suck.
I don't care what the story is, lady. You're going in.
I ain't messing with those guys.
Get me out of this damn
Nope. Nope. I don't know nothing about nothing. It's brutal, man. Game don't mess around with the heartstrings. Man, what Arthur must be thinking going up to Dutch. I mean, now we've already seen that he's acknowledged him as being not the man he once was. I mean, that's pretty striking. So us going up to Dutch right now and talking to him, Arthur is very likely to be a bit on the defensive here. At the very least, kind of have a sense of distance. It's heavy, Cricket. Heavy.
Morning.
Starting to wish we'd stayed on Guam.
I didn't lead them here, Morgan. I swear it.
It don't matter either way. Okay. Guess I'll see you later then.
Okay, Arthur.
Poor guy. I can only imagine how guilty he feels. You know, the other thing that really sucks for Bill is because people generally assume that he's stupid, everybody just automatically thinks that it's his fault that everybody got here, and I really don't think that's fair to him. I think this was a bad idea all around for us to come back to this place. And for us to bring everybody into this shit. And Bill is just such a convenient fall guy for this. And it just feels shitty.
Good to see you again.
What do we do now?
Clearly we need to move. I'll speak to Dutch. Well, don't give up on everything just yet.
Sure.
I want to go talk to Karen.
Good to see you again, Karen. Where's Molly, by the way?
Nobody's seen her in ages. Good riddance, I say.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Guess I'll leave you to it then.
Sure, Arthur.
Good riddance, huh?
It's good to see you again, despite the circumstances.
You too. But what do we do now?
We need to move, as soon as possible. We've got a couple of days. Well, try to keep your head straight.
All right. Come to, huh, Mary Beth?
Good to see you again, Mr. Strauss.
But under what circumstances?
I know. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah.
Right? Funny how no one's like, where's Molly in trouble? Right? Nobody seems to care about Molly and going to get her back, right? We're starting the whole good riddance narrative on folks now. Not great. I mean, it's understandable why the group confidence wouldn't be high right now. I mean, morale would absolutely be low.
Another day, huh, Arthur?
Reverend, it's good to see you again.
You too. But this is a mess. A real mess.
I know.
Well, certainly is. What up, Kane? Good boy. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy.
Come here.
Yeah. You're a good boy, Kane. You know who's not a good boy? The man I'm about to talk to. It's chapter 6, Jared. I believe.
White to D4. Black to F5. White to G3. Knight to F6. Bishop to G2. Black to G6. Knight to F3. White to D4. Black to F5. White to G3. Knight to F6. Bishop to G2. Black.
You okay there?
To G6. Working it all out. Once and for all, Arthur.
What now?
We're back, and I'm sitting here, and I am contemplating the great journey of the sun and considering a famous chess move. Those oily enactors of a mediocre justice, the Pinkertons, and their benefactor, the depressing millionaire Leviticus Cornwall, they want us, Arthur. They want us. And they are going to have us.
Maybe they ain't the problem.
Meaning?
I don't know. It's just, well, I can't help but feel we would have been better running off someplace else.
But the game ain't over, Arthur. I mean, I ain't played my final move, but
I guess I'm more interested in saving lives than winning a chess.
and maybe life ain't such a thing to cling on to so tightly.
No doubt. What about the women?
You sound like Hosea. I miss him.
I asked you a question.
What do you think?
We can't stay here. That much is obvious. Where are we gonna run to? I mean, they chased us from the west. They chased us over the mountains. They ran us into the sea.
Arthur, do you have my back?
Always, Dutch. But there's more than your back to worry about. We need more money. We've been on the run for months now, and I seen you killing folk in cold blood like you always told me not to. And I'm sorry, but I can't help but think that if we
There is country in Roanoke Ridge past Butcher Creek I believe we could hold.
Okay.
You and Charles, you could take folks up that way. Micah and I need to do some reconnaissance. I ain't got a final plan yet. Arthur, I ain't got it. I just need time. I need time and no traitors.
I mean, if you've been watching my playthrough up all the way to this point, which thank you for doing that, you know probably what I'm about to say here, which is that this is obvious. Like, this is exactly what I expected Dutch was going to say. Now, he's taken Micah for a reason. This doesn't surprise me, and I hope it doesn't surprise all of you, because we've been talking about this. Dutch's prime directive, for as long as we have known him, is that he wants unconditional loyalty. When he has unconditional loyalty, he knows he has the latitude to do whatever he wants, and he continually gets the benefit of the doubt. Always. It is the mechanism through which this group sticks together. An abstract concept. Arthur, being the realist, in contrast to Dutch's idealism, is talking about survival as being the fiber that holds this group together, which represents a very fundamental difference that you see in that conversation. Dutch is taking Micah on reconnaissance with him for a reason, and that is because Micah has been consistently showing him loyalty, both verbal and I guess nonverbal. He's certainly not going to take Arthur because Dutch cannot stand to have Arthur next to him instilling doubt in him. You hear Dutch hesitate with vulnerability here, right? Dutch starts to say, I don't have a plan, and he stops himself. Early in the game, Dutch would have absolutely disclosed that to Arthur, would have probably gotten vulnerable and would have worked it through with him, but he doesn't do it here. Because Arthur, by virtue of being the split of competence with him right now and of loyalty, is going to instill doubt within him. He's going to highlight the things that he is insecure about, and Dutch is going to overcompensate. One of the ways that he's overcompensating is by running away from Arthur and running toward Micah, reinforcing the idea that I really only bring people on the big things when they are loyal, and I can't stand you being a traitor. All Arthur did was ask how we're going to protect the ladies. He just asked, how do we protect this group that you hold so dearly? And Dutch insinuated that there's potential for being a traitor within. It's just not great. It's all very obvious at this point. There's really not any subtlety anymore. Dutch is off his rocker. He is at a point where he's trying to save face, save his ego, save his role, all these sorts of things, and it's become about him and his story and what he hasn't accomplished and what he wants to accomplish. It is no longer about the group. The group is no longer a thing that he sees as able to meet his needs, in part because we've lost a lot of people that I think he perceives as being competent. Instead of looking at somebody like Sadie and going, shit, she could get some stuff done. Brutal. Real brutal. So he's sending us off. Not only is he taking Micah with him, he's taking me away from the group. And Charles, men of integrity, are being sent away right now.
Charles, be right with me.
Always. Where are we headed?
Up past Butcher Creek.
It's Murphy Brute country.
That's why I'm asking you to ride with me.
I understand.
You okay?
What are we doing there?
We're looking for a place to hole up. Even the law won't follow us up there too willingly.
Yeah. I did some scouting up there while you boys were away.
And?
You'll see.
Oh boy, this doesn't bode well.
I know the way.
By the way, Charles, I have tuberculosis and I'm scared, and my horse is now conjoined with Bill's.
It's a fair ride from here. Hold.
Do you guys need a minute?
I thought we were leaving now.
Sinead?
We need to get this done fast. The Pinkertons will have reinforced in another day or two.
Yeah. The sooner we get out of here, the better. It's quite a ride up there. I saw some canoes near the bridge upriver, which would take us right up to Butcher Creek. Might be quicker. What do you think?
I say we just ride it. It ain't worth messing around with boats.
Okay, sure.
Yep, I'd rather take the ride.
It's good to see you again, Charles.
You too.
Thanks for what you did in Saint Denis. Real brave drawing them off us like that. I was worried you and Abigail had both got yourselves killed.
I found a spot to lie low for a while, then managed to get a ride with a wagon of workers heading out to the fields. Abigail said she somehow managed to slip away when they grabbed Hosea.
You did good getting the others out of there. Keeping everyone together.
Everybody was pretty shaky.
Sadie did that.
Back to Shady Belle. It was a tough few days. I couldn't have done it without Sadie.
So how did you find that spot back there? I assume the skulls on sticks weren't an addition of yours.
Old Strauss knew about it. The locals are terrified of the place, so we figured that might buy us some time. And it did. Until one of you brought the law with you. And where did you end up again? Cuba?
Oh, not exactly. An island off of there called Warma. Landed ourselves in a heap of trouble.
Really? A tropical island? Isn't that just what Dutch wanted?
I guess it didn't exactly live up to his ideals. Anyway, I ain't always sure Dutch knows what he wants anymore.
Perhaps not, but he's always managed to figure things out in the past.
I know. You're right. Just... It's been...
Oh, man. Okay, so I don't know if y'all felt your stomach drop there, but I felt mine drop. This is what makes it really hard to be lucid in this type of group, particularly about leadership. Because the thing is, leader has gotten everybody else to buy in their own way. And it's a way that's very strong. So when Arthur suggests to Charles that maybe Dutch has not quite got it together, he sees slight resistance from Charles on that. Right? Charles says Dutch always figures it out. Arthur goes, I guess you're right. It's very, very hard for Arthur to suggest that maybe Dutch isn't fit for leadership anymore. And that is by design. It may not be like super intentional. Dutch may not be thinking about that when he's done things that he's done with the individual people in the group. But remember, there's a reason that everybody is so heavily bought into this group despite everything that's going on. And so to challenge leadership here is not going to be easy. This is why excommunication from groups is something that gets threatened in groups like this. So you know, Arthur knows what he's talking about here. Dutch doesn't, or Charles doesn't know necessarily, but Charles was certainly there for the bank robbery. Charles has been there to see some of the fallout for some of this stuff. He has seen some of these plans fall apart at this point. But this, again, this is what makes it hard, because you have your individualized experience of a leader. You might see some shit. You try to talk to other people in the group about it, and it's kind of this like impenetrable barrier. And then Arthur's kind of left going like, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, exactly, Mona.
Guess I just miss Hosea and his wisdom, you know?
Of course. There's the bridge. It's not much further now. So, I spent some time up this way while you were gone. I ran into Rainsfall and Eagle Flies, the Indians. And I've been trying to help out a bit where I can at the reservation. Things are bad there.
That's not a surprise. They seem to be in a lot of trouble, heading into more.
Some men there spoke a lot about the Murphy gang that hides out in these caves. A place called Beaver Hollow. They're animals. Everyone is terrified of them. Just recently, a stagecoach from Annisburg disappeared without a trace coming through here.
Great. Dutch didn't mention this.
Well, hiding up here...
I don't know that he'd know that.
It's not a crazy idea.
To his credit.
This is a spot nobody comes near. Even the law. But just be ready. It won't be pretty.
Well, so be it.
You see that up ahead? Slow down. Keep it quiet. It could be some of them. I say we dismount here and follow them on foot. See where they're going. Follow me, stay quiet.
Well, isolation is always going to be something that the group needs in order to stay functional. Like, I think the group continuing to isolate itself from society just in general is a mechanism of keeping everybody together. So absolutely. You know, now I'm not going to give him too much credit here, but like I do think that us coming up here is functional. If this is what is legitimately going to keep us away from the law, that's a reasonable argument to make. But the isolation that the group experiences absolutely plays a secondary function. Remember, isolation is one of the key factors of abuse. It is a form of control. If you can keep people isolated out, it means there's not a diverse amount of things that you can attend to. It means you don't have a extra ability to survive. You have to rely on the group. The group is all you have. So that isolation is key to making sure that the group still continues to fulfill whatever need he has. But I don't know that that's the primary function of us coming up here.
Come on, up this way.
Already, for Christ's sake?
definitely Murphy's. I say we deal with them from here. You take one, I'll take the other.
Well, how about I do the skinning?
Then who do the carrying?
You're a son of a bitch, you know that?
What hell?
What? Oh, I really thought I was gonna knife this guy.
That was close. We must be
No,
close
no,
now.
Arthur.
Let's stop and have a look from the top of this hill there.
No, Arthur. No. Thought I was gonna be able to pick up his knife. There we go. That's what I wanted. Not the torch.
Okay. Let's see what's going on.
That's the stagecoach we're missing.
Jesus. They must be in the cave. All right. Let's get on with this.
Okay. What you think? We can head into the cave or flush them out with dynamite?
Let's surprise them in there.
Okay. Let's get a little closer. Ready? Let's get this over with.
I just don't want to make a ruckus and get surrounded. I mean, my rationale for going sneak into the cave is we go to them. We don't worry about people coming from places we can't anticipate.
You see that?
Yikes.
Someone's coming out of the cave. I'll keep watch. You deal with that one in the entrance. Quietly. Arthur, have you got this? Now keep moving.
Oh my God. Jesus. This had to have been, well, I don't know. We're pretty far away. Oh, man. This is awful.
What tarnation?
Someone's down there. She's alive.
Oh, shit. Guess it's time to switch to gun.
Hey, how the hell did you get in here?
Looks like it's on there, Charles.
Okay, hold on. You were wrong.
What?
Let's get this over with.
What? What the hell? I didn't even do anything wrong. kidding me?
Let's get this over with.
All right, fuck you guys.
Looks like it's on there, Charles.
I'm the dynamite. I'm the dynamite now, fellas.
You were wrong about these crazy sons of bitches.
Charles, stop trying to be a goddamn hero, because I swear to God, if you die...
Someone's down there. She's alive.
Mama say, will someone put a hole in their head?
Charles, see any more?
Not for now. Come on. Let's get that poor girl out of the cage.
No!
We ain't gonna hurt you.
Please don't kill me.
It's okay, miss.
Put your gun away, Arthur.
Stay away from me.
This woman has every reason to believe that we're in trouble. Or that we're trouble. She has every reason to believe that we are a danger to her. She has absolutely no reason to think that we are safe. So an ideal way that you want to handle this is to approach her with empathy, with directness, and also to show her that she has some autonomy here. To say, like, I'm going to... Like, you would basically name every single thing that you are going to do. Okay, so I'm grabbing my knife. I'm using the knife to cut the ropes off of the cage. I'm going to open the cage. I'm going to step away. You are very clear about what it is that you do, so that that person has very tangible evidence that you understand what you're doing and that your actions are aligning with it. And you match that as best you can as you're going through this, because this woman is obviously in a position of trauma, and we cannot assume that she is just going to go along with us because we say we're safe. She has no reason to believe that we are.
It's okay.
It's not okay, right?
You're safe. It's okay. Come on. It's time to go. It's okay.
All right, we don't know what tactics those other guys have used. Holy shit, man. She got the 1,000-yard stare.
Let's go. Where you from?
Annesburg.
What do we do with her? Take her there and I'll go get the others. Sure. Miss, you okay to ride on my horse a little? I'll keep you safe. Annesburg, right?
Yes. They...
It's okay, miss.
The others, they killed them.
You're safe now. Just try to breathe.
They're animals.
I know. It's all right, miss.
It's okay for her to be upset, Arthur.
Some folks is just evil. Ain't no point trying to explain it.
I haven't slept in days.
I know. What's your name, miss? It's okay.
Meredith?
You're gonna be home soon, Meredith. And this'll all be over.
Thank you.
Where in Annesburg?
One of the mining cottages. If you get me to the main street, I can show you from there.
Okay. Just try to relax now.
She ain't gonna be able to do that, Arthur. Arthur would do well here to be clear about who he is as well. My name's Arthur. I'm from so-and-so. We were riding up here. We heard, like, him grounding her in his own, who he is going to help too, right? Like, his goal here is to make himself a known quantity to her. Because he's still kind of an unknown quantity. Granted, he saved her, but she doesn't know whether she can trust him. Arthur continuing to say it's okay. I mean, it's a common response. I'm not trying to crap on him for that, but, you know, a more ideal response would be to say, like, you know, you're with me. We're going at your pace. You tell me what you need. What information do you need from me? Like, you know, I'm Arthur. We're going to go up on the horse. Is it safe to take you home? Is there somewhere you'd prefer to go? What can we do, right? Arthur hugging her in that cage is a risky move. It worked. But I think Arthur would have been better off letting her come out to him. It gives her some sense of autonomy as she leaves the place that she's been held captive. Arthur might say, like, hey, miss, I'm here. We aren't going to hurt you. I understand that you're afraid that we might. You know, and, like, close the gap and see what happens. It's actually could be pretty reparative for him to hug her there because she can kind of connect with, like, that human contact and feel it in a way that's not threatening. But you just don't know. She very well could attack him if he did that. And I wouldn't blame her if she did. So it worked out in this instance, and that's okay. It very well could. But you really want to be a lot more clear through verbal, right? Like, I am going to approach this cage. I'm going to open the door. We're going to stand here. You can walk out. We will take you home. We are not with them. Right? You direct the situation there. Because that woman is in crisis. That woman has experienced significant trauma. We look sort of like the people that have been traumatizing her. We have to be aware of that as we walk in there. So if we say things like focus on your breathing, you know, he could say grab my hand, something like that. But approaching her in that instance is very threatening. Again, it worked. So, okay. But I don't know that it would have been my go-to. You want to match intensity and then sort of de-escalate through that. Your crisis management 101, as we've talked about in other playthroughs, is make as many unknown quantities known as quickly as possible. So that she knows what she's working with. We know what we're working with. We find some sort of general common ground. Right? Like, we both want to get out of here. We're together in this. Right? You look like you're hurt. Can you walk? You know, stuff like that. Oh, what's up, Jay? How are you, buddy? Those of you coming along with Dauntless, Jay Knight, CEO of Dauntless Snacks, a snack company that I am very proud to be partnered with. You can put exclamation point Dauntless in chat. You can also check out, I think I have the Dauntless link down in the description of my channel. Dauntless Snacks are fabulously delicious meat sticks that you can get on the website. If you use code UMATTER as a promo code, get 10% off your order. A great, great, great snack to have. I eat them all the time. I actually got to put my next order in because I have run out. They're fabulous. Jay, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate you, man. One of the things that we've been talking tonight, we're talking a little bit about crisis intervention here. We just saved this woman from a pretty traumatic instance. This woman's got a long road ahead of her here. So she's gonna have a long road of like unknown people are probably gonna freak her out.
Just
she may
head
have
for the
some
main street. It'll be easier to walk from there.
She may have some responses that are not really in her control, where she gets, you know, like you saw when Arthur kind of reached for her, she kind of like, right? So she's got a road of having to recondition herself basically into a space where some of the contact she may want to have in her life with other people is something she becomes more comfortable with. As a reminder about trauma, trauma registers for folks when there's a gross violation of expectation that's coupled with a lost sense of safety and security. This woman absolutely had that, right? She can't believe that people would do this. She's locked in the cage. And what happens in that moment is your brain registers everything that's going on in that moment. All the circumstances. From where she was kidnapped to the cage she was in. This includes smells, types of people that she's around, what she's wearing, what the time of day was. I mean, there's all sorts of things that her brain is going to register. There could very well have been a bird that made a funky noise when it happened for her, that if she hears that bird again, oh my God. Right? Like, that's going to potentially be something that could trigger her down the line. So that vigilance in her brain is something that she involuntarily now has to live with and learn to navigate. One of the things that makes trauma super unfair and shitty for people is that you are left to pick up the pieces of the trauma that you experienced, even though you didn't ask for the trauma to happen in the first place. And so part of the work with her is going to be helping her understand her triggers, help her understand the circumstances that were around that, so that if she notices that she gets flinchy in times where it wouldn't actually be adaptable to be flinchy, she can kind of have some understanding of that. She may be on guard for a little while here because she has to protect herself, and that's what her brain's going to try to do. Does the brain process information different while actively in the trauma versus after getting out of the cave? It certainly can. Yeah, I mean, when you're in the trauma, what your brain's entire process and planning is to coordinate your body in such a way that you survive. And you do whatever you got to do. Some people turtle shell, some people scream, some people, you know, they fidget around, some people dissociate. Brain has all sorts of ways that it can try to get you out of that space, especially when you realize that you can't get out. Well, when she gets triggered in the future, what's going to happen is her brain is going to employ those same things that it assumed it got her to survive in that moment. So if, for example, she became hypervigilant, there's a good chance that that's something that's going to happen for her. If she dissociated, there's a good chance that if she gets triggered, that dissociation is going to happen. Again, it's because the brain can't differentiate each individual circumstance. It only picks up on the triggers, and so it's going to employ that survival mechanism. The reason that PTSD and why trauma is so problematic for people after the event is because the brain has a trauma response in events that aren't actually traumatic. So what was adaptable at the time that the trauma happened is no longer adaptable for the given circumstance. So that's really the power that trauma has on it. And it's why, you know, like I say, this woman's road ahead of her is probably pretty long. And it's very unfortunate for her. Especially because I'm sure she doesn't really have the resources available to her to do this.
Miss.
Oh. Oh. Thank God.
Which place is yours?
Up at the top of the hill. It's near the blacksmith.
Come on, man.
Ma! Ma! Meredith! She's alive! Oh, she's alive!
You saw some pretty bad things, I'm afraid, man. Murphy Brood guys.
Oh, my darling. How did you manage to?
I just ran into them and found her.
Oh, thank you. Here, let me give you this.
Oh, that's okay, ma'am. You just keep her warm and keep her safe. Mrs. Downs?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
You leave me
No
alone.
way.
You just leave me alone.
No way.
Thanks, buddy.
Wow.
How you get on?
Okay. Found a girl. Took her home.
Oh.
You and Micah find anything?
Maybe. I think maybe. I found our old friend, Mr. Cornwall.
You did?
Yeah, he's buying a stake in the mine in Annisburg.
Relentlessly ambitious fella, isn't he?
Mike and I'll sniff about, see if he knows we're here, and exactly what his plans are.
So, Dutch, did you miss me?
I found her drunk in Saint Denis.
You're back. How jolly, Miss O'Shea.
Funny, you sack of shit.
Back
Who are
and
you?
drunk.
The Master, the Lord
Molly,
God Almighty.
calm down.
I won't be ignored. Dutch Vanderlyn, I am him. I ain't her. Or any of your stooges.
Calm
You
yourself.
don't owe me nothing.
Miss.
I don't owe you nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I'll spit in your eye. I did. I told them.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I told them and I tell them again. Now I've got God's ear.
You told who what?
Mr. Milton and Mr. Ross about the bank robbery, and I wanted them to kill you.
You did what?
I loved you, you goddamn bastard! Go on, shoot me!
She ain't worth it.
You told on me.
Oh, you're
You
not so
betrayed
big now,
me.
are you?
Why?
Calm down.
Arthur,
She's a fool. Get her out of here.
you know the
Oh,
rules.
not so big now. Are we, Your Majesty?
You...
She knew the rules, Arthur. What the hell is wrong with you? Mr. Pearson, Mr. Williamson, get this body out of here and get it burnt.
Okay.
Now get back to work, all of you! Quit your lollygagging! Get back to work!
Holy shit. Man, where do I want to start? Molly made the decision to rat the gang out. Molly's hope that Dutch would get killed there, I can understand. At the same time, her convictions there are a bit negligent because she didn't just put Dutch in danger. She put all of us in danger. She did. She by her disclosing that, she put every single person in the group in danger. I understand if Dutch would have been out by himself and she ratted Dutch out by himself and she turned him in and all that shit. And I don't think the group would have gone for that very well, but that would have been one thing. But Molly's decision put the entire group in danger. This, and I hold her accountable to that, okay? So the next part that I'm about to say does not take away the fact that she's accountable for that decision. This is where we want to think about systems, okay? Because these things don't happen in isolation. This is why I kept harping on Dutch needs to listen to the group. Molly made a million passes at Dutch trying to communicate to him that things were off, that she was worried about something, that she needed to be heard, and consistently and reliably Dutch brushed her off. Molly understood, I think, if you really got down into it, that she was never going to replace the woman that Dutch lost when he was young. She saw it play out where Dutch was hitting on Mary Beth. No way she didn't know about that. But Dutch didn't listen. When you don't listen to folks and they have strong decisions or they have strong convictions, they will escalate to a point where they are heard. When you are a leader of a group, it is on your shoulders to listen to your constituents and to hear what they have to say, to take into account their concerns, or else they will escalate until you are forced to hear it. That is what Molly got to. I am not blaming Dutch for the autonomous decision that Molly made. However, Dutch's interactions with her absolutely contributed to and or catalyzed that process. I would also argue that that other people in the group catalyzed that process by overlooking everything that was happening and just kind of leaving it to her and Dutch to figure out. Okay. So it's a very complex issue. Now, with this idea that she knew the rules, therefore she has to die. Interesting on a couple levels. On one hand, I could argue that if everybody in the group legitimately does know that if you do something like that, it's punishable by death. If you want that boundary to be a boundary, you have to enforce the boundary. So I can understand why Grimshaw shot her there. From a group dynamic perspective, though, it's pretty scary that we've gotten to a point where violence is shown in front of the entire group as what happens if you dissent from the group. That is extreme behavior. We have gotten to very extreme behavior here. A bid for unconditional loyalty as being the thing that you absolutely have to be a participant in the group, and the idea that it's punishable by death if you do something like that. And honestly, yeah, maybe Molly wanted to die there. Maybe Molly knew that disclosing that was going to get her killed, and that was her way. It was suicide by proxy. And I do agree, E-Fills, that yeah, if Molly wanted Dutch dead, she could have shot him in his sleep. She could have done that. It would have been no problem. But she took the group down with her. So there's a lot of decision making in there. A lot of it falls on Molly. She made the decision that she made. She got people killed. She probably knew she was going to die when she walked up to that. She made the decision to disclose that it was her. Holy shit, man. This is the complexity of these kinds of groups. This is when the group is all you got and the group ain't listening, you escalate, you send a message, you do it in the wrong ways. You know, at the end of the day, the thing that we have to remember about human beings is that we are animals. We are animals. And we have some animal convictions. And we're seeing some of those animal type convictions come out here. We all want to belong. We want to survive. We want to connect. We want to have relationships. When those break down and we're boxed in, that's really where rubber meets the road in terms of engaging our prefrontal cortex and, you know, doing what we consider to be acceptable. But there's absolutely There's absolutely accountability for actions. There needs to be. They didn't necessarily need to kill her. She might have been more miserable if they would have figured out how to, like, you know, lock her up or whatever. Maybe you ask some questions. Maybe you figure out from Molly, why did you do this? It's a very complex thing. And Grimshaw took the matter into her own hands. Grimshaw don't mess around. But Arthur very much, again, Arthur's not looking good in the eyes of Dutch and the group right now. Arthur expressed doubt in that moment. Arthur said, let her go. Let it go. And I think in some ways that's a proxy for Arthur's own desire to let it go, to get out, to dissent from the group and bail. Right? I think Arthur in some ways can empathize with why she did it, which is why he's hesitant to say to Dutch, yeah, do it, kill her. There's empathy there. Grimshaw ain't got it. Dutch ain't got it. Arthur's got it, in part because of his own personal experience. And we use our personal experiences to make sense of these things. This is like, in some ways it's a more sophisticated form of inductive reasoning, using empathy to contextualize something like that and make a decision. Grimshaw pulled the trigger. He probably would have rage. And I don't think Dutch takes too kindly to that. Anyway, there's a lot there. Take that for what you will, but holy hell, man. This is, I don't know. This could be the kind of thing that the group actually comes together on. Like, that's the other thing, right? Everybody in the group just watched that happen. And that's an opportunity for everybody in the group to kind of look at themselves and go, well, shit, look at that. Look at us. Here we are. We're still together. We're still good. This kind of thing it can rally a group sometimes, which is sort of scary. Whew.
You're a nasty woman, Miss Crenshaw. A nasty woman. You think I wanted to shoot her? You seem to like it. I saw that beady look in your eye. You're goddamn you. Murderer! Murderer!
Ooh. Molly ratted us out. Dutch broke her heart. She told the law about us. Explains how they found us so easily, I guess. Love does strange things to us all, even stranger than hate. Turned up drunk and mouthy and told us all this. She was so pathetic I wanted to spare her, but Miss Grimshaw put a bullet in her anyway. Guess it was right. Guess there weren't much of a choice. There absolutely was a choice. This was in our new camp, high in some nasty country. Badlands are as bad as we can find for this far east. The place we're holed up used to belong to a bunch of murderers. Murphys, or some nonsense like that they called themselves. We shot some of them. There's more lurking in the woods around this place. Don't think we have long before the law or the Pinkertons find us again. Just hope we can keep ahead of them for a while, or ahead of ourselves. Me too, Arthur. Me too. I don't think so, Shelbs. I think at the end of the day, the boundary got enforced. Although I don't know that Karen would have called Dutch a murderer instead of Grimshaw, right? Like, it may fracture some of them, but I think if Dutch had shot her, I don't know that Karen would go after Dutch like that. Yeah, Molly was made an example of, absolutely. But now we're ruling by fear. Now we have a group that's together not just because of ideology, not just because of survival, but because of fear. Fear is not sustainable for keeping groups together. Group's going to fracture. It's going to fracture. I'm calling it. I could see it happening. There's no way this stays together. No way. No way. Arthur has bucked Dutch too many times, and I don't think he's going to take a liking to that. And Lord knows if we go with Sadie to get John Marston out of prison. I mean, maybe it changes now because Molly outed herself, but holy hell. Guess we'll find out on episode 28. Oh, ye VOD watchers, thank you so much for being out here. I appreciate you immensely. Make sure you leave a comment. I love reading them. I don't respond to all of them, but I do read all of them. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Give me your thoughts, things you agree with, disagree with, etc. Please don't spoil her back seat, though. I also want to just say thank you to any of you who watch the VODs. If you became a member while you were watching the VOD by hitting the join button down below, or if you followed me on socials, or if you jumped into the Discord, or if you bought some merch, or if you sent a tip my way, I just want to say thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate it immensely. It really helps keep the stream going, helps me keep the production value high. So thank you very much for doing that. Make sure you turn on notifications. I'm live at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, Tuesday through Sunday. And I'll catch you in episode 28. Don't be wild.